On your plan of procedure, we're now going over step 20, cutting your bottom to size. After you used the table saw for the first time, you went and chose a box bottom. It was pre-cut, 6 inches wide and 9 inches long, intentionally too big. It will be pushing out your rabbet joints on all 4 corners of your box. You're going to begin by going to the table saw and cutting your bottom to width. Let's review some of the basic components of safe operation. Anytime using the table saw, you should always make sure that the guard is properly installed and in place. Next, you would set the rip fence to the measurement that you wish to cut. To safely use the table saw, your hands are the most important. First, your left hand, it must be holding the board against the fence until it is unsafe to do so. Since you will be ripping a board that is less than 6 inches wide, you will need to use a push stick. The push stick in this case needs to have a very small heel. The reason for the small heel in this case is you have a 1/4 inch thick piece of material and the heel should not be touching the tabletop. It should just be tall enough to hook the back of the board. If your heel is too large, as shown here, you will not be able to safely control the material as you cut it with the saw. Now with the correct push stick, place it on the center of the board or halfway between the blade and the fence. And do not stop pushing the material gently towards the fence until you reach the back of the throat plate. Always when using the table saw, our working piece is the piece that will be between the blade and the fence. The offcut is the piece that will be to the left of the blade. You are setting it up incorrectly if at any point the fence is very close to the blade. This has your offcut wedge between the blade and the fence, and more importantly, the push stick cannot make it through and will bump into the guard. Also, you are not using the table saw to cut your piece to length. It is unsafe to do this because the small end of the board is against the fence and the long part is on the tabletop. You'll cut your board to length using the compound miter saw or the chop saw. Use the same basic safety instruction that you received prior to this step on this tool. With gentle pressure down and back against the fence, sneak up on your cut or cut off small amounts until you achieve the proper fit of your bottom into the 4 pieces of your bottom. Your goal is to cut your bottom so that all 4 rabbet joints are nice and tight and your bottom is not pushing out any of the 4 corners. This may require you to go back to the table saw or the compound miter saw multiple times, and that's okay. Whoosha!